Hello and welcome back to the channel and another episode in the MRS project. This time around I'm going to be setting up the intercooler and showing the results of the jet hot coating that I had done to the exhaust. As you probably noticed in some of the other videos and in this video, I've sort of grouped some of the sections together where they make sense. So you might see pieces of one of the later projects sort of in one of the current one. Anyway, just know that there will be some kind of Easter egg spoilers, this and that. This video doesn't necessarily have a lot of that. It's mostly just the intercooler and setting that up. So let's get to it. I decided to redo the plumbing for the air-to-water intercooler and replace the pump that I had. Instead of just pushing the hose on, sticking a worm clamp, I was gonna make some custom hoses. I was thinking about doing braided hand hoses for, going from the swirl pot to the pump to the heat exchanger. So instead of doing that, I got these things called Auto Plumb hose barb to AN adapters. They come with, there's this ring, it's like a collar that goes on over, it basically converts a barb to an AN fitting. These are 5/8 barb. You can see it goes on like that. The collar comes up, screws it on. This rubber kind of gasket goes there. So once it's all done, you get something that looks like this, and then you can put your ends on. Here's some. Depending on how you're routing it, this goes basically anywhere. So instead of just hose sticking out and then going somewhere, it kind of has a finished look. When I mount this somewhere, this kind of lets me mount it just about anywhere I want. Basically the feed goes in here and then shoots out. That is incorrect. The feed goes in here and it shoots out this way. Anyway, I'm not putting these on just yet because I want to wait until I get to that section of the car. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff in the front area. The other thing I did was for the intercooler, I converted these to it, and mainly because the engine, as you know, is right here. So instead of trying to get a hose to bend almost immediately, it's a lot easier to just put an AN fitting on that already has the bend in it, and hose connects, everything's good, hose going off of here. We're going to go ahead and put this thing on. We're going to actually a little bit of infinite use detail juice to lube it up. Like you guys know, I'm a big fan of Garrett's products. That's not going anywhere. There's one part down. The other part is going to get routed to about here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on just so like the bend of the hose is natural. Now, I didn't need to use any kind of lubrication. But if you couldn't tell, I'm doing red hoses for the intercooler. So, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. The piece is finally ready to go. Looks like I need to kind of clean this a little bit. Probably do a final cleaning of things. You know, once they're on, or like maybe shortly before they go in, I'll put it back inside the plastic bag that it was shipped back in for now. But otherwise, there's the. Whoa, yeah. Otherwise, there's the update on the intercooler. Now we're looking at the intake pipes for the intercooler. There's the one coming off the turbo, goes into the intercooler, the blow-off valve, the hose that was installed earlier, as well as the injector for the methanol and water. Here are all the exhaust components that are coated in the 2500 degree jet hot coating. The intake components were coated in the 1300 degree jet hot coating. For the exhaust, we've got the header, followed by the hot pipe coming out of the turbo, and then going to the down pipe. All of these in the 2500 degree coating. As you saw, there's some pretty neat stuff on the market with being able to convert the barb sort of fitting to an AN fitting. They worked really well. It's pretty tricky to get the collar on because it needs to be really tight, but it also has to go over the barb. That took a bit to get on there, but otherwise it installed pretty easily. Everything's kind of back together. The coating from Jet Hot looks great. You can choose a bunch of different colors. You know, like some have higher cost than others. I didn't really go with any super high cost colors, I don't believe. But the process was pretty simple. You know, you basically mail your stuff to them, pay them the money, and then they coat it and then ship it back to you. I didn't coat the muffler because I don't know if I'm going to necessarily keep the TRD muffler or maybe change that out for a different exhaust at some point. It was also kind of pricey to coat the muffler compared to the other pipes, I guess just because it's large. And shipping that would have been another added-on expense. So I kind of chose a kind of compromise with what I was doing. Anyway, I plan to wrap the muffler with like muffler wrap, that kind of thing, to sort of keep the heat contained until it gets out the tailpipe. So that should be all of the exhaust. The intake parts, as you saw, were also coated. So that should help keep radiant heat out of the intake while keeping the exhaust heat in the exhaust. That should be
that should help pretty well with, just efficiency, hopefully engine bay temps. That's yet to be seen. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get notifications when new videos get published. And drop a like if you like this video. Leave a comment, ask a question, whatever. I'll do my best to reply. That's pretty much it for this one. Thanks for watching.